what's up? Football Friday edition of Pick Central, November 15th. Happy early birthday to my sister.
All right, there you go.
Myself, Marty Mush, Ev, and Clemmer. Let's touch on last night's game, obviously. Interdivision battle. Eagles come out on top in kind of another boring type of game, but Eagles take care of business.
They steamrolled them in the fourth quarter. I mean, the fourth quarter was like the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like definitely very, like, bland game until then. Then Saquon kind of just took over.
What do you think about going for it
Fine with it.
instead of the field goal?
I thought about it, and
Mine?
It's mine.
I don't know.
Can you guys hear me?
No, not through the headphones.
Try again.
Try again. This fucking mic sucks.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
there you
coming
go.
All right, see? Look at this, huh?
I don't know why you don't.
over here.
Yeah,
Why
just
don't you
kinda-
agree with that? It's a 4th and 1.
Your mic is always fucked.
Fourth
Sorry.
and
No.
Yeah, 4th and 2. It's.
Kick the field goal, no?
You go ahead. When a
Would
field
go
goal
ahead.
puts you ahead.
I don't know though. That you get that right there. Your momentum is so much that also the 3 points obviously didn't matter.
Well, no, but like let's say they make the field goal. Do the Eagles necessarily go down and drive and get a touchdown? Probably, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why.
It was kind of deep in the fourth quarter.
The fourth down?
The fourth quarter in the fourth down.
it was like beginning-ish of fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I thought.
beginning.
I thought it was a little deeper into it. No,
At least, like, I don't think it was more than
no, it wasn't like
halfway.
3 minutes left. But I'm saying I thought there was like 9 minutes, 7
I
minutes.
thought it was
probably like
12
9,
I thought it was
10.
like 12, but still,
All right.
regardless.
Well, that
we're-
might change things a little bit.
I didn't mind going for it. I mean, you have like this dynamic quarterback. Obviously, like the play call doesn't work out.
Play call was horrible.
Play call was bad, but just the overall decision to go for it, I'm not like I get it because I think when you have such faith in him too, and I know it was a game where like they didn't score much, but I still think he's given you reason to have faith, especially even in just his like decision making and I mean just playmaking ability. I get it. I mean, I just think their mindset is like this offense is like too good. Where they're going to break through eventually. Like, we need to go get points now. Like, we need to take, like, a lead, not just, like, go up 2 or whatever it is.
Let's listen to Coach.
Or go up 1, I guess it was. Go up 1.
Hey, Coach Gooden, go for it right here. Go for it. I'm like, okay. We go for it. We get stuffed. And I go, hey, fuck you up there, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Aggressive. It's 12-10, man. We kicked the field goal.
The offense was moving.
But those two plays, they got stuffed so bad.
That's where
Well,
the
actually, what
analytical
Dave
guy
said, I
goes.
think it hurt worse. It was second in inches.
Yep.
I think that was the more, like...
That almost
the
tells me to make the field goal then.
The sequence of play calling was bad. Like,
Yes.
those three, like, to not pick up that first down when you have second in inches is brutal.
I think it's this. I'm okay with the call. I don't think it's like the worst call of all time. But in hindsight, like you just said, the 2 calls before and the whole game, you've scored no points, and your offense is your best receiver's getting locked the fuck up. Your quarterback is also kind of hurt, like his hand was beaten up, and their only option was like dump offs to Eckler the entire game. Mm-hmm. So I guess it is like you probably should take the lead there.
In real time, I was shocked. I was like, I was shocked they were going. I was really surprised.
Where were they on?
They
What
were
yard
like
line?
the 35-ish. Like
I thought it was
30?
closer than that.
Like 30, was it?
I think it was closer to 30. I was saying between.
Because I will say, in real time, I thought he was gonna kick it. Like I
too. I was
thought
stunned.
he was going to, but when he did, I was thinking, like, I get it. Like you're, but I also see the other
This
side
is a
where,
new
like,
kicker, correct?
yeah, and that was another part of it too that I thought was fair. Like this is your practice squad kicker.
The other guy was unbelievable.
Yeah, Hussein Gonzalez. Like he's kicked in the NFL for a while. Like it's not like he's like he's been starter for numerous teams, I believe, for like years. So he's not just like some schlep off the practice squad. But I get where you're like slightly less confident in him.
Laura's out of town on business this week. She's in Florida. So I had Melfi, I was talking. I look at Melfi. I go, can you believe they're doing this? My dog, She had no reaction.
That you had to. That was your story.
Story.
I can't believe you just took a minute. for that.
That was a great story, Clemens.
Thank you, Phil.
Great
I can't
story.
believe you just.
It's
We've all had a bad minute on the show.
No,
It's
of
a great
course,
minute.
but
That
was
might
one
be
of-
my best minute.
That was one of the worst.
never
That's
has.
it's a little glimpse into.
Tell us
into
your
my
wife's out of town. You talk to your dog.
life. I do.
That's what you just told us about.
Talk to my dog
Fourth-
a lot. A lot of
fourth down.
Sometimes she'll grunt back at me.
God
That's
damn it.
literally what dogs do. They can't talk.
They grunt. They grunt back.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
that's
like,
how they
shut the-
talk.
they're like,
Trying to talk.
No, they're like, shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Stop talking to me.
Probably.
Yeah.
Trying to
Does
sleep.
Melfi bark too?
Oh no, not at us. Only if like a stranger comes to the door.
I got a really
Phil?
bad dog. A really bad.
Yeah,
joke.
Phil Sheetbuck. Yeah.
Really bad
I've
joke.
met Melfi.
Hey, wait, you and Melfi got along.
You have a bad
I
joke?
have a horrific joke about dogs talking.
What's the
it's
bad
good.
hour right now? So go.
All right, I'll do my
We got
bad
time.
minute, and then we
There we
rotate
go.
it right down. All right, guy walks into a bar with a dog.
Okay.
He says the dog can talk. So he goes, all right, if he can, I'll give you free drinks for the rest of your life. He's like, all right, fine. He goes to the dog. Who's the best baseball hitter of all time? Dog goes, Roof. So then he goes, what's the top of a house? Dog goes, Roof. Bartender goes, you two are fucking assholes. Throws him out on their face, out on the bar.
Oh.
They're laying there bloody.
Oh, no.
Dog turns to the guy and goes, you think I should have said Gehrig?
That's great.
Actually, not bad.
That was better. That was better than Clemens.
Mine wasn't a joke. Mine was a true story.
True story. Yeah, exactly.
You think Melfi watches the Jets with you on Sunday? It's like, wow, this Aaron Rodgers guy is so washed.
Why does the man scream when the green team is on? It probably does. I'm always upset. She's only known me being sad at the Jets.
What did you guys? Let's get out of this. What did you guys get out of yesterday's game? Are you like
the Eagles win the division?
The NFL
Game
the
lead.
NFL product kind
not
of
about that really? I'm that's fine with me.
Should we go back to like just games only on certain Thursdays?
No, what?
What?
No.
You want a game every week?
Yeah.
I actually, someone, I forget who tweeted this, actually had like a take that. I think it's been what I feel like I've been trying to say the last couple of years, and he worded it like better than I had. He essentially saying that I think it's crazy where we have this thought process with all the primetime games that like the product is so bad. Like in the 2000s, all the fucking games were like 20-13.
Yeah.
It's
You know
not
what I mean?
just that though.
No,
like,
but the quarterbacks like they didn't even throw the ball. Like I just feel like saying like the
they did in the 2000, maybe the 90s. It was over.
But I'm saying like it was such a ground and pound game, and then now it's like anytime we have a low scoring game, it's like oh like the product is so bad.
It's not just low scoring.
That's literally all it was forever.
You saw good defense though back in those days.
Here's a good take.
This isn't good defense.
but I just
It's
it's
inept
just-
play.
But
It's bad play.
I think it is good defense. Like I think when you see like a young son like Quinyon Mitchell, like an ascending star, just put or in his back pocket, and then all of a sudden like they're struggling to do things on offense. You have a quarterback that like nicks his hand up a little bit. They did a good job spying him where like, he wasn't able to really run. Like I think there was very good defense played. I think just to say like there was good defense then, no, now it's the offense's fault. That's why the game's.
Do you think the NFL product is good this year?
Yes, like
Like compared to previous
I
years?
think this year there's a slight like there are like more bad teams.
You got to admit it's down this year.
But I think we it feels like we just say this every year the last
No,
like
I
4
don't.
years.
I think this year though is
Last
like,
year people were saying it all last year.
Yeah,
oh,
it
the
hasn't been
product
good the
is
last
so
couple years.
bad.
It's
I don't know about.
It's-
I don't
hasn't
know.
been great.
I think you gotta stop saying product. I think you have to start saying. I think there's a lot of bad teams this
Right.
year where that's. I know the product. That means the product
is the
isn't
product,
great.
right.
But I'm saying the teams. I think we have a good mix, like a 6-7 really good teams, and I think there's if you went Lions, Ravens, Chiefs, Bills,
Steelers.
I think you can maybe put the Texans there right now, like Packers.
I think you should still be able to say like the Eagles have to like
Eagles?
Yeah.
It's like I mean
So I think those teams are
good,
really.
like-
I think those are good teams that
Okay.
you want to watch, and then I think
like the
But then the bottom falls out.
I think
like
the bottom.
Falcons are fun, like the Bucks.
I
Like
think the bottom
Bucks
has
are not-
too many.
but they're hurt. Like yes,
I know,
they
but
are, like
that's a problem though. Like
but like oh like there was no receivers. There was
there's
no,
so
like,
many
receiver
bad
injuries, like-
teams, Ev. There's so many bad teams.
But it's say like unwatchable. Like the Bengals are like not, they're 4 and whatever they are. They're still like very watchable. Like
We went through the games this week. There's
like the
six-
Cardinals are plenty watchable.
There's
Like,
six
like,
good and there's 6 bad, and I think even the good is like you're stretching a little bit.
I just disagree. I feel like everyone's
You
just,
love ball too much.
I think everyone just complains too much and it's too like everyone gets too lost in like in real time. They get lost in the moment. And they forget like what we like the football that we were raised on was like a lot of low scoring like physical like
There's
it's
10
what-
teams that have 3 wins.
It's
I
what we
disagree
were
with that.
raised. It's what we were raised
Or
on.
less.
Is we didn't watch every game. That's what it was. Like it was.
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
We
People
got
are just
so little
Oh,
that we didn't even
This
know.
this is the part that I forgot about with the guy's tweet that was good. That we're now this is like the red zone like society. So so many people watch on Sunday, they just put on Red Zone. So like all you see is just the scoring.
That's fair.
So now we're like so programmed to like watch that when you watch a game that is like 12-10 in the fourth quarter, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like this product's horrible. Like blah blah blah. Like I think people are just like they're so trained to only see points and scoring and fantasy football and Red Zone that when they watch a standalone game and it's not.
But Red Zone was around 4 years ago, and 4 years ago the product was better than it is now.
But I disagree. I don't think I just disagree. I think people
There's
are just
also
more
there's 11 teams that have 3 or less wins.
That's a
this year.
11's
I think there's
That's a
more
problem.
there's more bad teams than
That's
probably.
what I'm
That's
talking
what we're
about.
saying.
This year is just.
I think, but I don't think it's some crazy like. There's like a couple more that are bad, and we'll see how some teams like turn. There's
If you go through that slate, there's not that many like fun games that like I'm super jacked for. Where I would have been more excited like 4 years ago. And I don't, Ev, I think this is a fixable problem. I think 3 years from now things will be fine. It's just right now this product right now this year is not great. It's very bad for NFL standards.
Can I chime in
because
really quick?
there's good teams that are the teams that were used to being good are not great right now. The Cowboys are bad.
Yes.
Like, not even like, ooh, can they make the Super Bowl this year? It's like, no, they're really bad.
They might not, yeah.
You have the 49ers who are 5-4 that you're like not used to seeing right.
Look like ass,
releasing
and they don't look
5-4.
good sometimes. They look horrible.
You also have like there's just other teams that you're like the Dolphins. They're like, okay, they're not that good this year too. It's just bigger teams that you're like that you're missing out a lot on because of they're just dog shit.
The Patriots too. Like the Patriots have been good for
have
so
been
long,
bad,
and
though,
then, you know, like
it's-
We got
but the
Drake-
Jets,
I mean, we
the
got
Jets,
Drake
the
now.
Giants.
the
It's
Jets have been
like-
bad forever. So that's a constant.
We got Drake May, but I think Ev is 100% right. But what I do want to say is when you're saying 4 years ago, I do think there is something to be said about the fact that like Patrick Mahomes right now, as it stands, it's like he's the only quarterback out of this young crop that has won, right? Like who else?
out of the young crop. Yeah.
out of the young
Yeah.
crop. Like obviously like Stafford has, but these guys are like on their way out. During like the Brady Manning heyday, there were people like Brady was winning like obviously like a shit ton of them, but there were quarterbacks that were in the race. Like Manning had one, Eli had one. Like there were quarterbacks
Yeah,
that
Big
were
Ben.
winning at like so
Rodgers.
Just the
Breeze.
quarterback crop, I think like 4 years ago, 10 years ago, just made it more exciting. I
I
want to say.
actually don't agree. I get what you mean, and I think it's a good point, but I don't kind of agree. Just because Mahomes, like the crop of quarterbacks that we have, young quarterbacks are really fucking good.
Yeah, very good.
I agree with that, but I'm saying the
5 or s-
winning.
I know winning, but the problem is that
I still want to see Josh Allen, even though he hasn't won.
The problem is, Dukes, is all the really good quarterbacks are on the same side. The AFC.
I think, but
that's the problem.
That's
If they were switched, where it's like we can get Mahomes against Josh Allen, Mahomes against Lamar on the NFC.
Burrow.
But that was the
NFC
case even during Brady's day,
yeah,
though.
I
know, but I'm just saying there's 5 or 6 in the
Wouldn't that
AFC.
make for a better
agree with
regular
you.
season?
I guess
though,
they're
for
right
all
about the AFC too, because the
Yeah.
AFC for all it was always like Big Ben, Rivers,
Right.
like with Brady and Manning, obviously.
And Marty, I do agree with you, but the one thing I think people lose like sight of now is it took a while for like it to be an unanimous decision that Brady was better than Manning. Like it was
Yes,
you
it
were
did.
either
Some
a
people
Manning
say
guy
no,
or
no
you were
doubt,
a Brady,
no doubt.
you were a Brady guy,
yeah.
and
Took
it
a
was
long
like
time.
for a long time.
I
Like,
agree.
some people didn't believe it until he won with the Bucks, which is
That's
crazy
crazy.
to say.
That's crazy.
But there's people out there that like legit. So like Mahomes is just so clear cut the best quarterback in the league right now that yeah, it's fun to watch Allen, but it's not really that like two people battling it out head to head. Like I don't know.
And Mahomes
say
did
that's,
bad this year.
that's a good point. There's,
No, it's a good
there's not
point.
really like a debate. I agree.
will
That's
say,
fair. There's
though-
no,
There was such a debate for
There's
such
no
a long
like
time.
true debate. There's like one, and then it's like who's better, like Allen, Lamar, Burrow.
I
like
went to the lunch table every day, ready to go to war for Tom Brady.
Unfortunately, last year is what really solidified Mahomes. Because even if like Josh Allen wins this year, it's still like you're still like Mahomes is better. You know, like I still think even if this year that happens, it's like well Mahomes did it 3 times already, but if it gets closer, I know what you mean, but I think it is. I don't know. It's so weird. He's just so good.
The best Mahomes debate out there right now is if he's better than a
Tom
quarterback
Brady.
that doesn't fucking play
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
Whether Mahomes is good or Brady's good or whoever's good doesn't change the fact that we have Colts Jets, we have Rams Patriots, we have these shitty games like Vikings Titans, Jaguars Lions. Like it's just
We
a
always
mismatch.
had shitty
Well, the
games.
I
problem-
know, but I feel like we have more
quarterbacks-
than ever.
The quarterbacks after the elite young quarterbacks are really really dropping this year badly. They're not good. Like after you
It's
have
still remarkable to me that like you have so many of these teams and so many of these quarterbacks coming from college and so many guys in the league that we can't get 30 legitimate quarterbacks. It just goes to show you
fucking
how hard
brutal.
it is to play it.
And
You can't get 30 guys.
And it's
Marty.
way
You
harder to
just
play.
can't get 30
I'm
guys.
trying to guess.
Crazy.
I'm trying to go. Let's do it really fast.
What are we doing?
Of just like how like bad quarterbacks are, because the NFC West, I think you could actually say that there's 3 or 4 real good quarterbacks.
And even Geno.
All
Geno's,
four
not
guys
bad.
are
Yeah,
playable.
Geno's not bad.
Geno's not like
But
terrible.
then the NFC
He's not
South,
great though.
you have 2.
He's not great.
I mean, not everyone's going to be
didn't say he's
great. That's
great.
fine.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
no,
He's
those
just-
are 4 viable
fine.
quarterbacks.
He's like an
NFC
average.
South is 2 or 4. Correct.
Say who? NFC South.
NFC South 2 or 4.
So you have Baker and
Cousins.
Cousins.
And then NFC North, you have like I'm not sure if I'm saying Sam Darnold is.
No, Sam
He's like
Darnold's
5.
whatever. Sam Darnold's
So I think
like
you have
whatever.
2 or 4 in the NFC North.
In fairness, though, I don't mind seeing the Vikings. They're 7-2. Like,
Yeah,
They're like a good team,
We're
but
saying
I think
quarterback.
Darnold is still like bad, but
Yeah.
they're just a good team.
that's 2 or 4 in the NFC North. We have 1. We now have 2 in the NFC East.
we have 2 in the NFC East.
Yes.
I just
And you
can't
still
stand-
listen.
I can't
I
stand
hate
Hurts.
Dak. You still could say like healthy. He's like Doc is. He's more than competent. I mean,
Yes.
AFC West, you have definitely 2. Bo Nix is becoming 3. You don't know yet though.
Right.
you have 2. Right.
AFC South, you have 1.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
And
that's
AFC
and then you have like Lawrence, but like he hasn't been good, but he's still kind of
AFC
like,
North, you have 3,
Yep.
and AFC East, you have
You have
1.
one with like
Drake
a.
May's really good.
he
Drake
is.
May, no, Drake May is. Drake,
we
he is
can't
good.
say Bo Nix is not on it here if Drake.
Right.
We can't.
I put
yeah.
I put Bo Nix and Drake May on there.
I don't
I
think
wouldn't.
I think
I
Drake-
don't-
I think
those
Drake-
guys aren't
Wait.
like
I think Drake May's better than Bo Nix, but
me too.
Bo Nix
long
has been
term.
solid.
I also don't want to see the Patriots play. Like at the end of the day, like are these teams I'm excited to see play? No.
see, I think Drake May makes the Patriots watchable in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't.
With Brissett, they were like unwatchable. May is like May makes them watchable. He can
You can't
sling-
put
he
him
can
as
sling
an
it.
elite quarterback.
No, he's not elite, but I'm saying he can
Rams
sling
at
it.
Patriots. That's a game that you'd be excited to watch.
Yes.
Say it again.
Other
No,
than
I-
Patriots,
I
Rams
think
at
you have to
Patriots.
be.
I don't hate it because the Rams
Excited.
are very
It's a
watchable.
horrible game.
I know the Rams had just had not a great performance. The Rams are very. I mean, with Stafford, Cooper Cup, Nakua, like Kyron Williams, like that's a watchable team. And I just said my point about the Patriots. I think they're with May watchable.
I'm buying 7 and 12. That's a lousy game. I'm sorry. I think most NFL fans.
But your record does not always define like
It doesn't.
watchable.
It doesn't. But it's like that's
I
not.
It's
think
like
the
the Rams are always like the Rams are very watchable.
Say what you want about the Bears this year. The Patriots are in a position now where, like, I feel kind of like the Bears last year to end the year. Like, I think we could end strong. I don't think we're going to make a playoff push, but I think we can end on a high note. So I do agree with Evan in that sense, where it's like, yeah, record-wise, you'd look at this and be like, holy shit, this is dog shit. If it was Jacoby Brissett, I'd be like, I wouldn't even watch the game.
Colts Jets. That's a game I don't want to watch. I'm a Jets fan. Browns.
That's worse than Rams Patriots.
I agree.
Yeah.
Browns Saints. That's a horrible game. And I'm just going through the list here. Like I'm not really.
Brown Saints is a revenge game though.
Raiders Dolphins is a shitty game.
Browns Saints.
No matter how you look
You
at
can't
it.
sit here saying the Browns Saints is a good game.
Yeah, revenge game. James
Revenge
Winston.
game. So, no, he didn't say it was a good game. He said it was a revenge game. That's fair.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
And even like Vikings.
Is it a revenge game? I don't think anyone even's thinking about that.
I thought about it when I looked at it
No way.
That's why I'm
because
going to be betting
I
the
was thinking about
Browns.
taking the Saints.
Vikings Titans, the bad game. And Vikings are in the mix, and it's bad.
Well, Titans are bad. Titans are bad.
Titans
I said, if you go through the list, there's so many bad games. I said, like, Ev, I know you love football. You love football like I like baseball.
But
Like,
you kind of
get
just
it.
listed like all the bad games, and even I disagree with one of them as a bad game. But you just listed like basically 4 games so like they're bad games.
Yes.
Like what? I mean, we have like Broncos Falcons.
Jaguars Lions. That's a bad game.
Yeah, I mean,
it's someone
bad.
I'm literally just going through the list.
That's also
someone
the
else's-
Jags are bad, but also Lawrence Hurt makes that like very like watchable to unwatchable.
It's someone
because
else's.
Jones is so bad.
It's someone else's take. I did hear it on a podcast. I don't remember which one, but I did hear this, or it was a TikTok, or it was a clip, whatever. They equated it to blackjack. There's a lot of games in the NFL where if you sit in a blackjack table, you get an ace first. You're like, all right, great, this is gonna be a great hand.
Yep.
Then you get a 4.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah, no, for sure.
there's a lot of aces with 3s, a lot of aces with 4s out there. Like you
what
look
the
at the
Jags game
Vikings,
is.
like the Jags game. What'd you say?
Or excuse me, the
Lions,
was it
Jacksonville, yeah.
Lions. Yeah, no, I get
You
it.
have an ace with a 3.
yeah.
Same with Minnesota. Like you could consider Minnesota like a king with a 3. You know what I mean? Like that's where I think a lot of these games are. So we'll put a pin in that. I mean, it's just it's
One
tough.
last thing. I have a question for you guys about yesterday's game. Did you guys enjoy watching that game? No. I mean, even
quarter
I
was
love football. I don't know what you want me to
Yeah.
say.
John Gruden loves football more than all of us. He wants to donate to football, I guess. I don't know what that means. He said this game stinks. Like, he was like, this game needs life. Like, I miss Jerry. He said, when we wanted Jersey Jerry to come out. Even he, as much as he loves football, he was like, this game is dreadful.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the fuck. The fuck is that?
Wrong
Phil
button.
is something else.
We pulled up the wrong thing.
Yeah, wrong
shit.
button.
No, you didn't.
No, Meek. That's all Meek
No,
Phil.
I did not mean
It's
to pull
on,
this up. We
it's
didn't-
on your screen.
Oh,
You can't pull up the wrong thing when it's on your screen.
oh, it was the wrong thing.
It's the wrong
I
button.
thought it was the quarterback graphic.
Pull up all of my things I sent too.
Well, you can pull up this.
Oh, here we go. This is going to somehow hurt one of us, hurt our feelings.
Probably you. Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, boy. Yep. Oh, boy, Meek.
That is
Meek
that's
Phil, yep.
pretty
Well,
stunning.
actually, it's not close at all. Like, this is stupid. This. What are we doing here, guys? Like,
mean?
this-
Passing yards is a big margin.
I guess, but like
Touchdown-
touchdown, interception,
touchdowns
it's like,
too.
well, all right, yeah.
Touchdowns
Oh,
too.
and Zach Wilson rushes more? No shit. The other guy has
Interceptions is the
Achilles.
same. That's not good.
Well,
he
he
threw
played two more games.
More yards and well, yeah, one
He also
more.
played 2 more games. This is stupid.
Zach Wilson played 2 more games.
That's what I'm saying.
We haven't
So
talked
he has
about
what-
the same
or-
amount, and that's
So, but I was looking at the rushing and the other stats. Like,
interceptions.
I guess.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, Aaron Rodgers is not playing well. Is that? You see, this is the problem with Meek Phil. If I was still on here going, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers is the best," blah, blah, I'm not saying that. So what is the point you're trying to make, Phil?
Can you bring up my other Jets?
No, I want Phil to answer this first. What's the point I said Aaron Rodgers is bad. What's the point?
Just wanted to show it. There's also another thing.
But
we
I'm
wanna
admitting
show.
he's bad. I'm acknowledging it.
Okay.
The other Jets
Okay,
thing.
okay.
I actually wanted to ask you about this because I was angry for the Jets in a way. That's the way they're handling themselves a little bit in the media. That no, but it's annoying. He's coming up now, but it was your interim head coach gave a
Rick?
presentation on how to tackle, and
The team?
yes,
Go, all right.
and Sauce Gardner was like, "We know how to tackle."
No shit.
we
I don't think.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think Brick is going to be coaching. Once this season's over, that might be the last time you see.
you can't be giving
Yeah,
a presentation on how to tackle.
That's the second most embarrassing thing. My fault as a Jet fan. Luckily, I didn't pass it off to us. The second most embarrassing thing in Jets history from a coach. You know what the first one was?
What?
When Lou Holtz went in there to Joe Namath and tried to teach him a fight song because he was coming from college.
That happened.
Wait. You're on Sauce's side.
No, I'm on none of their sides.
I'm on Jeff Ulbrich's side.
I'm on. I'm on like
I would say I agree with neither.
I'm
They're
on both no one's side.
Giving a presentation to an NFL team is the dumbest. Like you think
Love
that's
it.
they're going to tackle better because
You
of
don't
that?
know how to. You don't know how to coach.
Oh,
at
I
that point,
hadn't
think.
thought about that one. Thanks, Brick.
Yeah.
Here,
I think you're making your players feel dumb at the
I mean, they
same
should
time.
feel dumb.
What?
I
They should
think-
feel dumb. They were.
I think
they
it's
were
also-
awful.
it's a
Yeah,
way to
no, that's
call out
good
a
as a
player.
coach. You want to make your players feel dumb. That's
I mean, they are dumb.
see,
I get some
though.
going.
No, okay, Phil. Why are they dumb?
They
They're
don't know
not
how to
playing.
tackle.
No, they're not playing well. It doesn't necessarily mean they're dumb.
So I took
You don't
it-
know how to tackle. Are you dumb?
Yeah, I am dumb.
Got you.
Connie got
There's
fucking
nothing-
facial right
that's
there,
the old Dukes, Dukes triple option.
Yeah.
If you just say I'm dumb,
you're
what are they going to say?
You
Yeah,
go-
you are.
You go into the room and you let everyone else think they're the smartest guy. You'll come out on top somehow.
Oops, that's been 30 years of my life.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? I think that this is a way for the coach to kind of call out someone like Sauce Gardner, who Sauce Gardner could say he knows how to tackle. That guy never knew how to tackle.
He's had a
They know how
bad
to-
year. He's had a bad year.
Even in college,
Surprisingly
I
bad
thought there was
year.
this one flaw coming out of college.
Great
cover corner.
I guess
Now he's not.
Right. Like, what's his weakness?
But-
Probably is tackling.
but my
it's probably
point is,
a better way to address that though,
I-
as opposed to a PowerPoint presentation. What the fuck
Why
you
he's
did?
an interim coach, but I
Yeah,
read that
never
as
coach
he was
again.
trying to call out a few players without calling them out directly. Which he
I'd
maybe
rather
should've done.
I'd rather you like. I think it is insulting to your team.
Very insulting.
But also calling out your coach.
It is.
You're insulted for it. though. I
No,
heard
because
that.
that's just
It's
not how you
insulting.
manage people. So let's say Sauce Gardner's having a tough time tackling. You take him aside and be like, "Hey, how can we work on this together? What can we do to improve your game?" You don't just do it like a presentation to the whole team.
I'd actually
That's not
rather
teaching anyone,
I'd
that's just
rather him
insulting
call him out in front of everybody than do a presentation and not call out anybody.
exactly right.
Calling out, if you're gonna call someone, I'd be like, "Hey, Sauce, you gotta step it the fuck up in front of everybody." And this is
Or
not
maybe
good.
you don't embarrass.
Yeah, but
you have
this
to
is
coach
also
everybody
men.
differently.
This is men. It depends on how the person is, but it
Exactly.
is men where it's like, listen, we got to we can all be accountable for our fuck ups, and this is what. Look, you did not make this tackle. Not like, hey guys, let's get this presentation on. Get low and wrap. Make sure you wrap and drive.
Right.
If that's what they're doing, we can't have the New York Jets having that. But also, him calling out his coach, I mean, obviously they're
No
frustrated.
respect in that locker room.
Stupid. I think the whole thing is fucked. It's almost making me want to take the Colts now, but I don't know still.
I think I might take the Colts. No, you said it perfectly. That Sauce Gardner clip, that is like, he might as well have just said, I do not respect Jeff Ulbrich as a man, as a football coach,
yes.
as a human being. Like, his mindset was like, get this loser out of my
In fairness, though, Ulbrich doesn't seem to respect him as a man.
he doesn't.
as
Oh,
a-
I don't know about that,
Clemmer,
though.
what you said, what Clemmer said before was right, that you either, there's one or two, it depends how the guy is. You pull him aside and say, listen, we got to clean this tackling thing up. Or if you think he's the guy that needs a kick in the ass, you say, hey, all pro cornerback, make a fucking tackle. I'm challenging you.
Yes.
Like in front of everybody, like you. Step up, make a fucking tackle. Stop being a little bitch.
But the
Make
other
a fucking
side,
play.
the other
all pro,
side-
all millions.
Treat people as human beings. That's how you.
If he responds to that, you go that way.
Right.
It depends on how the person should be coached. But
You don't
the
call him a
other-
bitch, but
the
you get
other
my point.
side,
Yes.
the other side of it is what Dukes just said is he is an interim coach for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he probably thought this was a good idea. I think it's another way that Sauce Gardner, is he a captain?
You're all pro
pro.
corner.
I have to
He's
imagine.
your
I'm
star
terrible with
player
that.
on defense,
Yes.
right? You almost take the coach, be like, Coach, we don't need this bullshit. Indoors, inside, not on the media. I'm saying he did it in the media.
He's also a younger kid. where
Okay, well,
Ulbrich
tell
is a-
somebody else then. Somebody else be like, Coach, this is like we don't need like.
Also,
you
it's
get
all
up
about
in
like
the
you're gonna
middle of
embarrass us. Fuck you, I'm gonna embarrass you. I don't mind that a little bit. I don't. Look, the
that.
Jets.
He
are-
embarrass him publicly.
Jets are in shambles.
If they
He embarrassed
respond,
him publicly.
if they respond to it as he's doing the presentation, that's like anarchy. Like if he just full blown is like
I'm saying after, but yeah.
if CJ Mosley stands up and is like, what's this clown doing up here? Like addresses the team
I'd rather
that's
that.
full blown like this season like everyone should just go home. Like
mutiny.
it's over. Yeah, like it's just over.
We
Everything's
have
over.
someone in the chat. Jets
Can
Joe
only
is
imagine
asking, who
this.
has a better coach, the New York Jets or Barstool Sports?
Oh, Barstool Sports. Oh no,
Gruden
that's not
easily.
even an
Gruden
argument.
That's just
easily.
stupid.
That is.
The
Gruden
Jets
runs laps
the
around
Jets
him.
should be knocking down the door for John Gruden.
Can I say this?
they
The
were
Jets,
saying on-
Jets haven't had a coach like John Gruden this century.
They were saying on New York radio
Not since
today that they think
Parcells.
some jobs are going to open up and the Jets will fall to the bottom of that list because it's not that great of a
Yeah, of
situation.
course.
It's a horrible situation,
yeah, no,
Rico.
totally.
We're in cap hell for 10
Why do you
years.
want to only good situation that you can maybe get is if they do get a good draft pick and you get to pick your own quarterback
Right.
and your own thing. But also, Rodgers says he's coming back next year, so
Yeah, that doesn't mean he's
I know,
playing.
I
He
know.
to
I
with
think
the
that's
cap.
almost what
He
makes
has
it
to with
bad.
the cap.
cut his ass.
He
They're
has
not
to come
gonna-
back
they
with
ain't
the
gonna cut
cap.
him.
They're not going to cut
Yeah,
him
they're
and
not
take the
cutting him.
loss like that.
this is your quarterback next year.
I got to be honest with John Gruden. The way that he talked about Drake May last night, I was like, just be here for 2 months and go coach the Patriots.
Yeah.
But the more he talked about Drake May, the more I was like, you do not need to be here.
You got to
any
beat him out
longer.
for Mincy's. Mincy's already recruiting
Yeah,
to
he's
the
screwed.
Saints.
I'm serious what I just said, by the way. My coworker is a better coach than anyone the Jets have had this century. 25
But it also turns
years.
out your coworker's a good coach. It's not like he's
Yeah, yeah.
Super Bowl.
your
What
coach. Your
You
coworker's a
can
really
make the
good coach.
argument that there's two
What a bizarre
coworkers here.
sentence, though, right?
Former.
Like that's how. Like,
Dion.
Oh,
I'd probably put Rex Ryan ahead of D.
I think you can put
Okay,
Rex
fair.
ahead of Dion. I think that's fair.
No, that's
bring
fair.
Rex back.
Rex did the.
Rex was a good coach. Rex
Rex
was
is
a
still
good coach.
talking ball. I sat next to him in the airport last week, 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
He
yeah?
was talking ball on the phone. I didn't go up to him.
Oh.
He was going off on the phone.
Sorry, you'll like this quick airport tangent story. I'm
right.
walking on the little thing that makes you walk faster. The thing next to me, I
Which,
spot.
of course, you would walk on that, but keep going.
What do you mean?
Oh, I walk on that.
I
You
don't
walk
walk on that.
That makes you
sucker.
faster.
Oh, what
As long as
a-
you walk
It's
on
a
it.
fake.
Don't
It's
sit
fake.
on it.
No, it's not fake. It does make you go faster.
Definitely go faster.
Because
Anyway.
people stand there and they.
Oh, it's two lanes.
No, and
Stand
they
on the
listen
right,
to-
you walk on the left.
You
The
walk
guy-
on the left. But
Guys
no,
coming at me. He's walking too. I spot him from like 50 yards. I notice right away. I go, hey, blank. Hey, blank. Finally, he looks. I go, big Met fan. He kind of looked like he had no interest in being a Met fan. Any guesses as far as who
I know who
was?
it is. I read your blog.
You read the blog. You know who it is? Matt Harvey.
No way.
He was like disappointed that I was like nice to him and said big Met fan.
Yeah, because I don't think it worked.
That means Mets fans have totally like
Yeah, they
have
ruined
definitely
him.
ruined him.
I mean, his
Yeah.
worst time of his life was on the Mets too.
And the best time.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Yeah.
that's-
Actually, it wasn't the worst time of his life. The worst time of his life was on the Angels.
Yeah,
it
that
probably
was
was
No,
nice.
he literally went to court about it. So
What did he do?
his
teammate died.
He got investigated in the drug policy. The drug
Oh, that's right.
Well,
I
that's
forgot about
sad. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was
saying more-
hey Matt,
that.
big Met fan. And
You
he
gotta
just
go
was-
talk
he was
all
like
the
this.
time, don't you?
He was just kind of like,
I just
Or
think
maybe
I
he just knew who you were.
spit
I was
the
like, I
facts.
don't want to be near that guy.
I doubt that, Phil.
I mean,
Should ask him if he was
he's
still
a
going to One
Barstool
Oak.
guy.
Now Harvey's definitely
still going
off
to
the
One
internet
Oak.
guy.
Yeah, he's not on the
He's
internet.
either off the internet or he's on like burners. Like he's not on the internet as like Matt
he's
Harvey.
here to talk about Qualcomm.
Harvey. So
Yeah, he's no good.
We
what it
have
is.
some NFL news that I'm going to put on the screen.
Could only.
This is massive.
Amazing.
Jesus.
That's great for us. I don't understand why.
It's horrible. If he gets hurt,
it's-
you're fucked.
It's good though.
No,
He's
get
not.
rid of him. Get-
No, he's gonna
end
make
this.
us be worse.
No,
what do
but
you
it's
mean?
Just, I don't even care. Just get. I just
Can't
want
get
him
hurt.
out of my life.
It's great if he stays and he doesn't get hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
You
but
lock his ass.
I
Yes,
want
but
him
he
out
has
of
something
my
to play
life.
for.
You got the league interception. Played 13 games.
He has something to play for. Daniel Jones stinks, and we're gonna lose more with him.
I just want him out of my life. I just want the Daniel
Can't
Jones
play
chapter
him.
of my
That's
life to be
different.
over.
You're wrong.
Going to get hurt.
He's different. No, he's not.
He gets hurt all the time.
yeah,
He gets
thank
hurt
you.
all the time.
Talking about.
Constantly gets hurt.
He's not gonna get hurt.
Last year he had a neck injury and tore his ACL.
Oh,
He's hurt
Marty.
all the time.
I don't know why you're Martin. I'm saying he's our best
Can you
option.
imagine
to
a
lose.
year 7 of this?
He's our best option.
No,
to
it
lose.
can't. No. If there's a year, it would just be financially. Like he's not playing next year.
How many years? I'm trying to think. Like
It's 6.
this is but like I'm trying to go through like giant greats. Like he's starting to catch Phil Simms. Like,
To be honest, though, if we're talking honest here, that just shows you how bad Drew Lock is.
Yeah.
guess.
What do you mean you guess? They would start him.
True.
Yeah, so then play him then so you do worse. That goes to my original point.
No, because they're still have the mindset, obviously, of not they. Like Ev says, they don't actually want to lose. They don't. As a team, they don't.
Dable doesn't want to, because I think Dable's in the spot where like he's still clinging on that he could keep the job.
Oh, I understand that.
I think Dable is thinking like there's a chance I could be the coach next
Wait,
year
yeah.
and basically get almost a second lease of like Jones is gone. I get to draft. Me and Shane get to draft our quarterback together, and then that almost would in theory give him probably like 2 to 3 more years.
I think I don't know.
He's
you
not
guys are
going
really
to.
close to the number 1 pick overall. I think you need to do whatever it takes to make that happen.
Yeah,
I'm
lose
in a
games.
spot. My thing is, if we're not gonna stay with Dable, then just if we're clearing house, then lose them all, whatever.
We only have.
But if we're gonna like,
four-
if
Would you be in
Dable,
favor of firing Dable now, like today, or no, not today? But you know what I mean, like
but
next week.
I go
don't
back
think
and
you'd
forth
fire
because
Dable.
I go so back and forth with Dable personally, because him and Shane to me are like realistically they're a package deal. I think Shane's kind of a dipshit. I think Dable is a good ball coach. I think he knows football. All he's done everywhere has been his win, besides really with the Giants, and he won the first year. I think he's a good football coach, and I think he will like have success somewhere else. I think listen, you can point fingers that they chose to give Daniel Jones the money. That's fine. They eat that. But I think
Still think they were
in real time their hands were kind of tied.
They really were.
And if they had not done it, people would have said, "What the fuck are you doing? He just won you a playoff game." Hindsight's always 20/20.
I have a take that even Marty, I think, will agree with.
Oh,
Oh god,
Brian Dable needs to be fat again.
I agree with that.
If you're an NFL head coach, you either need to be fat or like a GQ model. Everyone in the middle is going to be a failure no matter what.
But
Bill Belichick.
the GQ guys, I don't think like they don't work. Like to me, they
Sean
don't.
McVay works.
But McVay,
Floor's a good-looking man.
McVay's like a. McVay's. I don't see
Shanahan.
McVay like that same way. I don't know. I don't see McVay as like for example like a McDaniel's where McDaniel's wearing like off whites and like sun the like
McDaniels?
No. I'm no
Mike
Mike
McDaniel.
McDaniel like wearing like off whites and like fucking little capris and fucking nice sunglasses. Like McVay's a ball. Like he's just a ball.
I mean,
guy.
Matt
Like,
LaFleur's a good
he's-
coach.
Like he sounds like Gruden. Like McVay's like just a ball guy. LaFleur even as much as he doesn't have like the. I don't know. I guess I don't feel it the same way as I feel it with McDaniel. To me, he's like the poster child of it.
There's also just something about young guys that have that got a lot of money when they're like in their 30s and 40s that just happen to be like LaFleur. is not in that GQ category.
That's what I'm saying. Like he has
He's just
changed.
young and rich.
Like I'm saying,
He's handsome.
No, but I'm saying like
no. But McDaniel,
I'm saying he's also just young and rich.
McDaniel, we've seen him like change the way he like dresses and stuff. Like McVay has the same haircut, he wears the same clothes. Like you know what I mean? Like he's the same guy he was when he got the job. Now like McDaniel, you've seen like a like change. LaFleur, I feel the same way. Like he's the same guy.
There's three people that I put in the ball knower category in the NFL. It's Bill Belichick, number 1 when it comes to ball knowledge. Number 2, McVay. Number 3, Gruden.
I mean,
Like, I think those are guys that just like eat, breathe, sleep football. Doesn't
Yeah.
like.
I think I would say there's a lot more guys in that list.
I think of
almost
course
all
it's
these
the
guys
NFL, but like I think they're like obsessive. To the
I know what he's saying. Where it's like even like Andy Reid.
Andy Reid ignored his family for years.
I agree. He's a great
You're
offensive
totally
mind.
fair.
he's also fat.
But the Reid thing, for example, I've heard Reid talk.
Take away those Super Bowl rings.
I've heard Reid. No. It's not even about winning. It's like I've heard Andy Reid get excited about things other than football.
Yes.
Like cheeseburgers, legitimately. Like he loves like other like
Yes.
extracurricular things.
Thank
Like
you.
with these guys, I've literally only heard them have any passion speaking about football, and that's it. I think that's
only
where it's
thing
coming from.
Belichick-
Obviously, Reid's like an all-time great and whatever.
But he's also fat, which proves my point. You have to be fat or a GQ model.
Belichick talking about
Not the worst.
not crazy.
Was it DeMeco Ryans, the coach of the Texans?
Ryans, yeah.
Tommy
I mean,
wants
he's
to fuck
handsome.
him.
D'Amico Ryan's handsome.
Tommy Smokes literally wants to fuck him.
But
handsome guy.
D'Amico Ryan's also
Hey.
he's a ball guy though.
Tomlin's handsome too.
He is.
An older
I
man.
agree
He's
with that.
a handsome man.
Is he the
Great for
funniest
his
coach?
age.
What about Tom Coughlin?
Tomlin looks like an
neither.
attractive dad on a
He's-
sitcom.
I mean,
I mean, Coughlin's not GQ model
think
or
he
like.
has
he's got a bit of a gut,
I
though.
think
But
you
he,
have to
but he
have a
looks
red
football,
face.
though, right?
You
Tom
have to-
Coughlin looks football.
No, he has to have windburn.
He's an old tough bastard.
Yeah.
Like Matt Eberflus is an ugly coach trying to cosplay as a hot coach. It just doesn't work.
That's
Honestly,
true.
that's a
Yeah.
spot on.
You're absolutely right, Phil.
Spot on. Ever since he
one
got
of
his
his best
beard,
takes.
and that was your best take you've ever had.
He does the hair all up and everything.
There he is. That's Joey Gallo right there. That's Meek, not Joe. Actually, Joey Gallo. Why'd you all
was
look?
You said there he is.
Gallo.
That's Joey Gallo. He hits home runs sometimes and then misses a lot.
Joey Gallo's are all.
You all looked like you guys really want to see Joey Gallo.
No, you didn't. No, that's not what we turned it. You said there he is.
Yeah, there he is.
That's why we turned. Not because Joey Gallo.
Let's go through the games and see what everybody.
Oh, wait,
has
before we go
plays
into
on.
games, we
Yeah.
think we should talk about Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
I can't
Let's
believe
do that after.
I
Let's
can't
do that
believe that Meek just said to the host.
He just cocked you,
before
Rico,
we
so
go.
bad.
It's a big fight tonight. Jake
Right,
Paul, Mike
well,
Tyson. We got to talk about
hey,
it.
Meek.
So, Meek, maybe you can talk about it after the NFL games.
I think this is more important than the NFL. It's tonight.
I do have
Alright,
to.
I guess we'll be-
No,
I love you.
Meek doesn't. No. We'll
I want to
Stop.
shut him up though. I really don't like it. It's a
shut up while we-
crying child.
Yeah.
Like here.
I got-
no, but you're enabling him.
All right, fair enough.
I feel like a mom and
You're
dad are talking
enabling
about-
him. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you're like stop telling little Johnny that you can do things when he can't.
Before going into the NFL, I just wanted to take time to acknowledge that was the craziest thing that's ever happened on the show.
Ever. Meek, how did you think
That was the
that was
craziest
the
thing.
most? See, this is when you give him
ever
one
do
In my head, I
compliment.
thought it was a good
It's
idea.
a Friday. We're 38 minutes in.
Give him
Yeah.
one
Go
compliment.
through the games.
Let's do the games and then a touch on
I
Paul.
love,
All right, let's
I
go
love
to the
the
games.
We had a good conversation, aside from the two bad jokes, but we had a good conversation.
Yeah.
I do.
So we should, Jake Paul's a good like finishing
Yeah,
time.
it wasn't like we were talking like fucking, the Maui for 30 minutes.
I have a flight to catch, but yeah, Jake Paul's gonna knock him out.
Yeah.
That's it. He's gonna minus 200 is a crazy thing. But thank you for letting us talk about that, Meek.
Way to go, Meek.
All right, Detroit minus 13.5 hosting Jacksonville. Total is 47. You got any play in this? The Lions are. We touched on the public bets yesterday. It's Green Bay, Houston, Lions, Minnesota, Cincy, and the Colts. So the Lions are super public here, laying 13.5.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. I mean Mac Jones looked atrocious. It sounds like he's probably going to start again. I don't love playing these big spreads. Like usually I'll even try to take like the dog here. I just can't do that
Right.
here. I mentally I've lost too much money trying to bet the Jaguars this year. I've won a few times. I've got burnt more than I have, and if they cover 13.5, God bless. I don't know how they stop. Their defense is so bad. Like if the Lions want to go score like 45 here, I don't know how they don't.
I have a fun play in this game. I'm with Dev. Spread's too big. If you take a special or defensive team touchdown by either team, Lions or Jags, it's plus 245. I think you could easily see a pick six here, right?
I almost
I mean,
rather
listen,
play
I'll never
Detroit,
equate
though.
that to Mac Jones.
I'd rather play Detroit just to score the touchdown. What are they?
I don't know. This was I don't know. That I don't know.
Go to TD scores.
I know I'm trying to. You could do it too, Rico.
I'm the one navigating the conversation.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. I think Meek is. I'm going touchdown scores here.
I guess it's like probably 500, 450.
I'm sorry. Jags is plus 500. Lions is plus 400.
I would play the Lions.
I already placed it. Either team. I like the plus 245. It'll keep me a little bit engaged in this Odyssey game.
Lions defensive special teams plus 400. I like that.
There you go.
Green Bay Super Public going to Chicago. Interdivision home dog. Green Bay laying the 5. Total 40.5. What are we playing?
It's so tough because like in any like normal situation, I would bet the Bears here, but this team, I'm really questioning if they've like just truly laid down and died, if they've like given up. They just seem to be in just haywire. Everyone and their mother knows that Eberflus is gone. There's the part of me that's like Shane Waldron is so bad and so incompetent that him not calling plays does that help. But Caleb Williams in a press conference said the new guy who was calling the plays, who was the passing game coordinator, he wasn't very familiar with him, which is just stunning. Your starting quarterback is not very familiar with your passing game coordinator, who's now calling the plays. I just can't get behind that. I can't. Like, there's another where like I want to bet the Bears, but I feel like I've bet the Bears like twice in a row in this spot, and they just get mollywopped because they're just bad and they quit. And their offensive line's really bad. And the Packers are incredibly well coached. And my only thing with the Packers is Jordan Love, as good as he is, and I'm a Jordan Love guy, he makes a lot of big mistakes. Like he's never seen a throw that he didn't think he could make, throws picks. That scares me a little bit. Jaquan Brisker's out, though, like one of their best secondary guys at safety, one of the leaders of the defense. I'll lean Packers. I think I think you kind of have to go like that way.
Super public, but the public can be right sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, they've been right a lot this year.
Yeah. This is the time of year when things change. So
I love the Packers here.
All right.
Love it. One of my plays of the week.
Okay. Minnesota -6 going to Tennessee. Total is 39.5. Minnesota, again, another public play. It's a stay away for me.
I'm afraid
a lot of these are stay away. I'm trying to just really narrow it down. Been doing pretty good in the NFL in terms of spreads.
Underdogs did very well last week. Underdogs went like 11-3 or something last week against the spread.
Yeah, I got spanked yesterday. Oh,
I think I know match. It's one of those. It's tough. The Titans have just they can't. It feels like they can't. They're 1-8 against the spread or something like that. 1-8. They're 1-8 and
they have
1.
one win. Yeah, I only have one win.
They had the push. They had the push against the Packers too. Or excuse me, the Patriots. I know I saw a stat too. I think Warren Sharp posted it that the Vikings send a ton of blitz, and Levis is like the worst quarterback like ever against the blitz. So I think that to me is just a troubling matchup for them. They can't cover. It feels like they just can never cover a spread. Their defense really isn't bad, which I'm waiting for them to have like one game where their defense like just keeps them around. And they kind of did it early on, like the Jets game they did, but then they end up losing. Bears game, kind of a similar thing. Bears won the game without scoring an offensive touchdown. So I'm kind of waiting, like, can their defense show up enough, like, and just pick on Sam Darnold? Because I think we're starting to see as the season goes on, Sam Darnold get exposed.
We're seeing that in real time.
We're starting to see him make more and more bad throws. I mean, awful red zone decisions. Awful red zone decisions. But the Vikings are just such a better team overall. But the Titans defense is good. I'll lean Vikings as well.
I'm on the Vikings.
I hate taking all these road favorites. I really hate.
I know.
So I don't know if I'm like going to bet them, but right now, just like I'm just thinking, I'm like trying to break down these games in my head. I'm like, how do I not go with the Vikings?
I'm on the Vikings. I'm with Ev. I don't love the road favorite, but like this is more about the Titans and the Vikings. Vikings haven't played super great since their bye, I think moving forward, you'll see me bet against the Vikings a lot, but this is more just about the Titans. They're just horrible.
All right. I feel bad for them because I really think, I know they've given up a lot of points. I think they've just been put in such bad spots. Their defense is really solid. I think if they had an offense that could like do anything with the football and like hold on to it, their defense would like look a lot better just on paper because I think on the field they have good players.
Baltimore -3 going to Pittsburgh. Total 48.5. I kind of like the under in this one.
I love the Steelers. I love the Steelers at home.
48.5 doesn't seem a little high to you?
I'm with you, Rico. I'm on the under.
So the only thing, the Ravens, I believe, are 8 or 9-1 to the over this year.
They are playing that. We saw that on House.
And I will say,
House call. But the Steelers are playing to the under. I think.
But we just
48's a big number.
We just saw a Steelers game that was 28-27.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. I'm just for like, and as much as I'm Mr. Fields guy, I'm Justin Fields forever. offense is definitely much more dynamic in the pass game with Russell Wilson.
Without question.
It's just a fact. It just is what it is. So I like the Steelers. I would take the over because I think I've just been riding these Ravens overs and they just keep winning. So I'm kind of just I'm just kind of betting it to a lose.
I don't blame you. I'm on the under. I think for the same reason Rico is. I'm C48 next, or 48.5 next to the Steelers. I'm taking an under. I just trust that defense so much.
Okay. This one makes no sense to me. Miami laying 7 against the Raiders. I know how bad the Raiders are, but should Miami be laying 7?
No.
Total of 44. Stay away, but
Gardner Minshew, by the way, quarterback in this game.
I kind of want to take the Raiders, but I'm also like,
so bad.
when you say that out loud, it makes you want to throw up.
So
as you
bad.
Say it.
I held my nose and made the pick. I'm on the Raiders.
I don't know. I guess I'll lean Raiders, but I don't know.
7 points.
The only ones I really felt good that you've said so far is the Steelers is the one I like. That's one I like the most.
Rams minus 4.5 going to New England. Total's 43.5. I like the under.
I kind of like the over.
Really?
Yeah, I know. The Rams didn't finish any drives last week, but the Dolphins' defense is actually pretty solid. I kind of like the over here. Like I said, I think May has made them so much better, so much more watchable. Pass game is so much more dynamic with him at quarterback. He can run too.
I'm gonna take the under.
I also think it's kind of like a get right spot, kind of like a need it spot for the Rams. I'll trust the veterans going on the road. I'll lean Rams. I like the over.
Okay.
Another road favorite I don't love.
I know that's what I'm like. Again, I don't like doing that.
I'm on the Rams. There's another play I like too. Drake May to throw an interception, and this isn't even an attack on Drake May. Drake May just throws a lot of picks. A lot of it's because he has no receivers. I think that's actually the reason why. But he has 5 picks already this year. Remember, he didn't start the season.
Right.
Daniels only has 3 or 4, and he's played the whole season. So that just 5 picks is a lot. That's minus 130.
Colts plus 4 going to the Jets. 43.5.
Nope.
Yeah, Colts. I'm gonna take the Colts.
I would play the Colts if I had to.
I am not. I don't bet against my team.
Although Richardson's back, I'm curious to see Richardson back with a pep in his step. They had some quotes from Steichen, I think, talking about they benched him basically. He didn't like his investment level, his commitment level as the starting quarterback, franchise quarterback. Seeing the bench was a little humbling moment. Like, hey, you're the franchise quarterback. Like, we need more out of you.
I would tell friends and family to bet the Colts. Plus 4. This Jets team stinks, but I'm not betting against my team.
Cleveland minus 1 going to New Orleans. Total 44.5. No play for me.
I kind of like Cleveland. I think the Saints are ass. I know the Browns.
think
I know the Browns are ass.
This is my play of the week.
I know the Browns are ass too. Like I hear that.
Derek Carr is not horrible. He's really not. They're a different team when he's there, and it's in New Orleans.
They're definitely better when he's there. No doubt about that.
I took the money line, and it's my play of the week. I love the Saints here.
I like the Saints as well, but I didn't play it.
I do kind of like the Browns. I almost honestly, the Browns in a teaser would be enticing to me, because the Saints, I just like them beating anybody more with that touchdown. I'd be like, hey, good for them.
Carr's stats, I know it's kind of like looking at Russell Wilson's stats like the Broncos, but Carr's stats aren't bad. They're really not.
I just think to me, I see Olave's not there. I feel really bad at what's happened to him.
It's horrible.
In his career, just all these head injuries. He's such a good player. Shaheed, he's not there. He obviously hurt for the year. I just think they're so limited weapons wise that if they can't have a lot of success running the ball with Kamara, what are they going to do?
It's the Browns.
I think it's low scoring. No, totally fair. I think
In
it's
New Orleans.
I think it's low scoring. So I kind of what's the total?
44.
I like the under. I would lean the under. I like the Browns too.
I don't hate the under there.
Seattle San Francisco minus 6.5 hosting Seattle. Total is 48. This is where the Niners flex their muscles.
They've kind of they've owned Seattle too, in the last however many 5-6 years. So yeah, I would go Niners.
I'm on the Niners too. I think you're absolutely right, Rico. I think this is when. Plus now we have another week of McCaffrey under his belt. Let's go.
Yeah.
Denver minus 2, total 44, hosting Atlanta. I am on the Falcons.
I hate to do this. I love Denver.
Really?
I just think it's just a bad spot, bad matchup. Good defense at home. Get the Falcons out of that dome.
Yeah.
Get them in high altitude. I think the line also it's moved. It opened as a pick 'em. It's up to
It's up to 2.
Denver's minus 2. I think I'm gonna take Denver on the money line.
All right.
I'm scared of this game. I also don't want to bet against the Falcons, so it's a no play.
Kansas City, game of the week. Kansas City going to Buffalo. Buffalo minus 2, total is 46. They're begging you to take Mahomes.
I know it's. I think no Kincaid for the Bills too. I think worth mentioning.
Absolutely.
They're begging you to take
Cooper. I think Cooper there still is questionable.
It seems like he's going to play though, right?
Yeah, I think probably. He said out last week he probably should play. God, Mahomes is 12-1-1 as a dog. It's crazy. they're like so due to drop a game.
I know.
so
And this is the game, right?
Every game is one score. Every game they win is a one-score
After
game.
they get the gift last week, where like Denver has the game in hand, they block a 35 whatever
Crazy.
yard field goal. God, man, I might be on the Chiefs, but I'm not etched in stone yet.
I'm getting 2 points, and I'm getting the Chiefs. I'm on the Chiefs. I also like
it's hard, but oh god,
DeAndre Hopkins. Anytime touchdowns plus 190. So I'm on that as well.
Okay.
yeah, I don't hate that. You know what's the total?
46.
46.
I want to lean the over. Those games are always into becoming shootouts.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of year. Chiefs offense.
the
is not
Chiefs.
as
You're right.
electric
You're right.
as-
You're not wrong.
In Buffalo. I was almost
colder.
leaning under, but I don't.
I'm taking the over.
You're right though, because it just feels like they become like a duel.
Yeah.
Those
Like,
fourth quarters always in
It just becomes like almost like the reverse of like two stud pitchers like having a duel, like almost the opposite. Like two stud quarterbacks, like they're going back and forth. It feels like last year in the playoffs it was like that.
feels like whoever has the ball last wins.
Because I remember last year I took the over in that playoff game and it was over in like the third quarter. It hit
Wasn't
so
that
early.
Marty's point too? You only have to go
Early.
about 30 yards before you're in field goal range.
But also that
Butker.
Butker's hurt. That hurts them. He's been reliable.
Yeah.
still.
Huge for them.
Super reliable.
He's out, actually
I'm just
out for
saying
4
the
weeks.
scoring. You really have to go like 30 yards, 40 yards before you're in field goal range. Like the way these guys are kicking. Chargers minus 1.5 hosting Cincinnati. Total is 48.
It's so crazy. These teams can have more like opposite styles of play.
Yeah.
The ultimate, like a team that wants to sling it all over the yard.
Yep.
The strength of their team is a quarterback and receivers, and obviously Herbert's a great quarterback.
Taking
It's not-
more risks.
It's not that he's not a strength, but just they want to run the ball, protect the ball, play defense, physical. I can't quit the Bengals. I just like can't quit them. I also feel like I bet against the Chargers a lot. Bet on them a few times. I'll go with the Bengals, but the Bengals they're desperate.
They are
Are
desperate.
you taking the money line or the 1.5? I'm taking the money line.
They're
1.5.
Bengals are favorite.
No, I'm sorry. The Chargers are favored by 1.5.
I'm taking the Bengals.
I'll take if you get plus 1.5, like minus 110, I'll take it.
I'm rooting for
These
the
NFL games are so close,
Yeah.
and the Chargers have been in a million close games. It feels like.
I like the plus money. I'm on the Bengals money line, but I understand your point.
Yeah,
I'll
I
take
think
the 1.5
This is
just
where the
for-
Chargers start to drop games. This is where the Bengals start to pick up games. I'm rooting for the Bengals. I pick up the Bengals.
I know I've been shitting on football. That's a pretty good Sunday night game.
Yeah, it's
It's
a really
solid.
good Sunday night game. All right, Ev, take us out of break here with your breakdown of Jake Paul and why Jake Paul is going to win.
So I admittedly was almost like mad that Dave has been tweeting all this shit because I've been like thinking all this shit for weeks, and I've been talking to people about it and being like, this is like. I just don't get this line. I was saying in the office, I almost feel like I partly almost put it in his universe because I feel like at the Chicago office yesterday, I was talking to a bunch of people about it and just being so I think what started was Blutman was going around and doing basically a clip about it. Like, what do you think? And I was just like, why is this fight not minus 1,000, 2,000? Like it's to me, and listen. I don't care what you think about Jake Paul. I don't care what you think about Mike Tyson. I was raised in a house. My dad's a big boxing guy. I was raised on Mike Tyson stories. My father loves Mike Tyson. I'm very well aware of who Mike Tyson is, what he's about. My whole life, a kid watching videos, even as a kid, didn't really get to watch him. I kind of missed his prime. Was constantly watching videos on YouTube. I've watched his knockouts 1,000 times. He's almost 60 years old. He's had medical problems out the wazoo. He had to move this fight back that was supposed to be 3 months ago because of medical problems. He had a problem boarding a plane because he had a bad an incident that was just really health related. We've seen him in recent years walking in public places with canes and wheelchairs. The man's almost a senior citizen. He's fighting a guy who, whatever you think of Jake Paul, he takes boxing serious as hell. And he's in his prime physically. He's a lot of people think he's on steroids. He might be, probably is. Point for him. They're not testing, or at least he's getting away with it, whatever the situation is. I just I was talking to even a large about it this morning, and it's I wouldn't bet a 60-year-old man to be the in shape 26-year-old, whatever he is,
prime.
in anything, in literally anything. In boxing, I feel like we're more likely that Mike Tyson in the fourth round just says sits on the stool and it's I'm done.
Yes.
Than him winning the fight. Because I really when I think about winning the fight, I think what's the path to victory for each? And for Mike Tyson, I literally sit there and I'm like, if he doesn't knock him out in the first round, which it's 8 rounds, 2-minute rounds, but usually 3 minutes. So that even goes to show kind of the farce or whatever word you want to use. Kind of this, I think it's crazy the fight's even being made. I agree. I feel like Jake Paul is free money.
So I grew
I
up.
know you're not really supposed to like say that. Like I just see this. Every time I go through the outcomes of this fight in my head, I'm like, how does Jake Paul not win unless he just gets like crippled in the first 30 seconds? Which I think Mike Tyson can't move.
Yeah.
He's so slow. And just for a point of reference, Holyfield fought like recently. They're like about the same age. He fought Vitor Belfort. So people aren't familiar. He was a UFC fighter. He was good, but like got beat quite a bit. But was like very good, like fought for the belt kind of thing. Vitor Belfort, who's also like on the older side, boxed him like Holyfield last couple of years and like murdered him. Jake Paul dedicates his life to boxing. He's in his prime. Whatever you think about him, he takes this shit very serious. I just don't see how a 60-year-old Mike Tyson wins this fight. I just don't see it.
I grew up in the 80s, and I cannot emphasize enough how the entire country stopped everything they were doing to watch Mike Tyson fight. Boxing in the 80s was such a bigger sport than it is now. It was so huge. I swear to God, everything stopped.
He was the biggest sports
Tyson was
star.
more 90s than 80s, though.
No, it was not.
I would say probably both, right? Probably
It
both.
was definitely the 80s.
Probably the second half of the 80s and then like into the mid 90s.
I'm telling you guys right now, like this, before he lost to Buster Douglas, and that was in 90, he was considered to be almost immortal.
Office full of men, by the way. Look at this. These two poor girls are carrying this table. Not one guy helped them. What a shame.
Damn shame.
So, thank you, Rico.
Just saying.
I know, I understand. So, back to my point here. Mike Tyson, incredible. Some of my earliest sports memories are the Spinks fight, and the Larry Holmes fight. I was 7, 8 years old watching these. 2004, Mike Tyson fought a man named Danny Williams. This was 20 years ago. Danny Williams lost 35 fights in his career. Danny Williams is not a boxer worth even saying his name on this show. And that's not an insult to Danny Williams. You know, good for him, but like he was not ever considered to be anywhere close to a title contender. He knocked Mike Tyson out. KO. That was 20 years ago. There is I don't see any chance Mike Tyson wins this fight. The second I'm done here today at work, I'm going to jump in a PAT train. I'm going to go to New Jersey. You can't bet on this fight in New York. I'm going to go to New Jersey. I'm going to place always bet responsibly. I'm going to bet a responsible wager on Jake Paul. Mike Tyson's one of my first childhood memories watching him. I don't see, like, Ev, you made it great. I don't see any way that there's a path for Mike Tyson win.
And the one thing it's even funny.
Rico. More tables.
What tables?
One of my good friends was texting me about it this morning. Who's like big like boxing MMA guy, a little more like watches a little more casually than I do. But he was just like, he was like, what do you think about tonight? Like Tyson, right? And I was like, no. I was like, absolutely not. Like, no way. Because I think people, it's two things. It's one, people want Tyson to win so bad. They want to put an end to this Jake Paul charade. I totally get that. But I told him, I said, listen, I said, Vin, his name is, I said, listen, I said, boys think with their heart, men think with their mind. This is think with your pockets. Think about, Vin, you just bought a house, pal. Bet on Jake Paul. That's what I'm doing. I'm just saying what I'm doing. I know you're not supposed to say like what I'm just saying what I'm doing.
Yep.
And I understand people want to say like they're rigged, blah blah. Like these fights aren't rigged. Listen, they're match made for him to win a lot, but they're not like rigged. He's just fighting a guy who's fucking almost 60.
You know what was a tell for me a little bit? Tyson slapped Jake Paul yesterday. That's not what Tyson.
You want to know what he said? He said Jake Paul stepped on his foot and he was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, Jenks was saying that.
So he felt he had to react.
Steps on his feet. He's a big thing with stepping on toes.
He stepped on like Mike Tyson's foot when he's barefoot, and he was wearing a shoe, I think. But regardless, he just stepped on his foot. He didn't like it, and that was he said that's in like a quote, like he got interviewed.
That felt like a last gasp for me. Like,
I think it's him selling the fight.
Last time.
Also,
yes.
when you just see him move, like people are like, oh, like my friend, he was like, oh, he looks good hitting mitts. I'm like, bro, no, he doesn't.
No.
I'm like, watch him hit mitts. It's because you're just the allure of Mike Tyson. You're like, oh my god, look, he's 60. He looks fast. Put him next to like just not even Jake Paul, just like anyone. I'm like, if you like took their names and their stature out of it and just watch Jake Paul hit mitts and this guy hit mitts, you'd be like, oh my god, like he's gonna what's he gonna do?
Tyson's footwork was never his strength, even in the 80s. His strength was his power, right? And how great of a puncher he was. And that's why he stopped when he lost that power. That's why guys like Danny Williams beat him. Imagine his footwork now. Ev, you're right. You see him with a cane and a wheelchair. Like, what kind? We're talking like basic footwork.
That's what I'm saying. Like he has so many.
I worry about balance.
He has so many medical problems. He's taken 1 million hits. He's so old. Like you said, we were watching him getting beat up by legitimate tomato cans 20
years ago.
Listen, Mike Tyson's 50-5 or whatever, 50-6, whatever his career record. Jake Paul's 8-9-1. Mother Nature's undefeated.
Yeah.
Like that.
line to end it
The
on.
man is going to be 60 years old next year. He has no business being in a boxing ring with Jake Paul or literally anyone.
Are you obviously, I'm going to watch. You're going to watch.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Right. It's on Netflix.
I'm going to watch. I'll be
We're
watching.
going to watch. But
Actually, good undercard, too. Legitimate, women's title fight. That was
all right. Well, tell me. I don't know anything
that
about
was
this.
like Serrano.
Tell me about this a little bit.
Katie Taylor Serrano was at the Garden. I think it was in New York. Was a classic, legitimately two of the best women's fighters in their weight class in the world, probably the two best. Had an incredible first fight. It's gonna be a great rematch. There's some good fights on the card. Like if you a boxing fan, you got not watching college football or anything. The few fights before it are legitimately good boxing fights. So I'll probably be tuned in for maybe that fight and Jake Paul, but. It's if you want to watch some boxing, it's definitely they put together a respectable card around this dog and pony show, whatever you want
Why
to
not
call
old
it.
Mike Tyson? He's the same age as Tom Glavine.
He's old, man. The guy's almost 60.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
It's boxing, man.
Should be entertaining, though, tonight, for sure.
I wouldn't want
it's
to
gonna be a
watch Tom
show.
Glavine pitch. I don't want Mike Tyson boxing. Boxing is a whole.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god!
I think I might have to pull up the tweet because I'm afraid that we're gonna see a Jake Paul standing over Mike Tyson that's gonna cripple souls of many men my father's
Grew
age.
up on him.
I grew up on him.
a little
but
bit younger.
You
and
have
just-
to come to peace with it, and I came to peace with it when Well, what is that?
It's just so funny.
He's a childhood guy. I grew up watching him, man.
He's an old man now.
When I was
They're
a
just
kid,
coming to terms
when
that it's
I
just
was
so
a kid, he was the strongest man in the world. He was the toughest guy. You thought tough, you thought Mike Tyson. First thing came to mind.
Baddest man on the planet.
The
Andre the
scariest, toughest guy in the world. And now I'm going to watch him get his clock cleaned by this YouTube kid. It's fucked up.
Tough.
He should fight Bryce Hall.
Who? Mike Tyson. That would be a travesty.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. All right, picks for tonight, Clemmer. What are you on?
I'm on my big play is Jake Paul.
Okay. Ev.
I am on. I like a lot of the college football. Then actually, some good games actually tonight. I'm on Wyoming plus 10 and over 46.5. Excuse me. I'm on Houston plus 1.5. I'm telling you, Houston been playing really, really
They've been
well
bad
lately.
early on,
With
and then
Willie
he turned it
Fritz,
around.
the Tulane's coach. They found that he's a phenomenal football coach. He's going to get Houston turned around. Arizona's bad. Give me Houston plus 1.5. I like UTSA plus 1.5 at home and the over 72.5. This is going to be points shootout. North Texas UTSA over 72.5 and UCLA plus 4.5. They've been playing really good football. They had a brutal start to the year. Really tough schedule. Everyone was laughing at Deshaun Foster. He had the really bad press conference where he said the LA thing. Everyone was like, oh, this guy's a bum. He's been phenomenal. He's coached this team phenomenally well. So much better than they were beginning of the year. Them catching 4.5. They just beat Iowa, beat a few good teams, beat Rutgers. I like them catching 4.5 against
Can I
Washington.
throw one more pick out there? I have New Mexico State over 2.5 points in the first half.
First half.
Tomorrow, minus 130 against Texana.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, I got Bama tonight.
All right, I got.
I do. I really do. It's not like Homer double down.
Yeah.
I really do think the shots have not been dropping. I think the shots will drop tonight.
What's the spread?
2.5. We're laying 2.5 in West Lafayette.
It's a big game for you guys.
Yeah, I don't think they can run with us. I really do.
What time is
I
that?
might bet you guys. I might
7
bet you guys
o'clock
too,
on
basketball.
Peacock.
That's good because I love Purdue tonight.
7 o'clock on Peacock. Love Purdue.
I don't. It's not my favorite play of the night, but I love Purdue. I just think that with their veteran guards, their style of play, I think they could control the tempo of that game. I don't think that Bama going into Mackey. I think that's one of the hardest places in the country to play. Just because if Bama loses tonight doesn't mean they're a bad team.
No.
If they win by
They
one,
could
I
lose
still win my bet.
4 of these tonight.
I mean, yeah, it's
they
not,
could lose. I mean, you look at this schedule, it's again, we're getting in the weeds, but it's for the next test. This, it's not going to hurt their seed of who they're playing. They got to win some of them. They can't lose all of them. At Purdue, Illinois, Houston, Rutgers, North Carolina, Creighton. That's their run till December 14th right
Yeah,
now. There's absolutely no breaks in between that.
I agree with you. I
And
just
a
think,
third game in that Players Championship thing too after Notre Dame.
I think Purdue's still a top 10 team in the country. I think Braden Smith's still the best point guard in the country. But I have a full ass card tonight. I have Nova minus 4.5. Love that line. Rutgers minus 21.5. College of Charleston minus 2. Maybe my game of the night. Purdue plus 2.5. SMU minus 1.5. BC plus 1.5. Princeton minus 1. Robert Morris minus 6.5. Penn State minus 7. Maryland minus 2. Northwestern minus 24.5. UPenn plus 8. Pittsburgh minus 7.5. Zona minus 4.5. DePaul minus 6. UT Rio Grande minus 4. Brown minus 8. High Point, love them, minus 3.5. Raptors plus 2. Old Dominion football this weekend plus 3. Kansas plus 2.5 against BYU. Patriots plus 4.5. Chargers.
Oh,
-1.5.
we got a good one at 9:00 tonight.
And then Washington -4.
We got a good one at 9
That's a
o'clock.
full-ass card.
Ohio State A&M tonight.
I'll be watching that.
That's a
real
weird one.
good one.
That's a weird one.
The
That I was looking
line
at.
scares the line, but I still think this Ohio State team is underrated. People don't realize
They want to shoot a lot of threes. I read it in the offseason. I texted you about
Ohio
it.
State wants to shoot a lot of threes.
Ohio State wants to shoot a lot of
They
threes.
This
good
kid,
shots.
this kid, Junie Mobley, we have as a freshman, is legitimately like one of the best shooters I've ever
Okay.
seen.
All right.
Yeah,
They
there's a
call
lot
him the
to like.
sniper.
Yeah, so it's wall to wall. You got hoops, you got football, you got boxing. It's
You know
it's
what's
a great,
a good game you should watch tonight
What?
that I want to put on your radar? Gonzaga. It's a 30-point spread, but just watch. Gonzaga, UMass Lowell. UMass Lowell is a low major team, very good. They're plus 27.5. I wanted to. I didn't know that. I couldn't really get a read either way, but that's a low major that you know,
Yeah.
you like that little like.
They've been at the top of that conference.
I feel like they always play like all the big teams at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, they do.
Ohio State's played them a few times
Yeah.
the last like few years. I recall.
And then another low major team to watch out for this year is High Point.
High Point, I've talked about their home court advantage is unbelievable as well. It's a fucking party down there. Have you seen that?
No.
You got ESPN Plus?
I don't.
You got to get ESPN Plus.
I have cable. Do I get ESPN Plus with cable?
No, I guess a guy like you doesn't need it for the weeds.
He doesn't really watch like college sports.
You don't watch
like
college
that.
like that.
Not like
I'm trying to watch
in the
more, but
weeds.
like so something like on Peacock. I'm trying to watch the
YouTube High
Duke
Point
and Alabama.
YouTube High Points Purdue Alabama will be on Peacock. YouTube High Point home court advantage basketball.
All right.
Their home court. It's a fucking party. I want to go to a game down there, so we'll see. All right, that is Pick Central. We're loaded basketball, football, wall-to-wall boxing, everything. It's a great time to be gambling. Shout out to the boys at DraftKings. Yeah,